Hope everyone's enjoying their week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Allie Carrington.
And I'm John Torsha. We begin this show with some highlights from the first candidates debate among the Democratic contenders for governor, held Saturday at the high school. Presented by the East Longmeadow Democratic Town Committee in conjunction with the Chicopee and Wilbraham Democratic Committees, as well as Massachusetts Parents United, the event was moderated by veteran political consultant Anthony Signoli. It was the first time the three candidates had appeared together to outline their positions on issues ranging from healthcare and transportation to the prospect of Amazon building a new headquarters in Massachusetts.
You know, there's some great things about the state right now. A lot of this economic boom is happening in Greater Boston, right in the Seaport District. And instead of incentivizing, putting together deals like the GE thing that went through, we should be looking to have an Amazon out here.
If the plan for Western Massachusetts isn't we're going all in and all we want to do is have an Amazon here, but if you know, we want to build on the creative economy out here, or we want to build on precision manufacturing in Western Massachusetts, or whatever it is that is right for this area, informed by the people of this region, that's what we should be working together on. And what I would commit to you as your governor is working in partnership toward an economic development plan that works for the western part of this state and for the people in the western part of this state.
I am not opposed to the idea of Amazon coming under any circumstances, but I would extract the maximum value from Amazon in return so that the smaller businesses and the communities that have been betrayed are not going to continue to be betrayed by the elitist corporate behavior and decision-making in the eastern part of the state.
Mark your calendars for a celebration of East Longmeadow coming to Center Field on Saturday, October 21st. The free event will host a variety of local food and craft vendors featuring food from our town's restaurants, a beer and wine tent, bounce houses, tractor rides, a pumpkin patch, a costume parade, trunk or treat, and much more. Capping off the day's activities will be a concert headlined by the Western Mass-based dance band Fever. The event is co-sponsored by the Rotary Club of East Longmeadow and local businesses and nonprofit organizations. And again, there is no entrance fee.
Focusing on the Recreation Department, get ready for another Patriots game bus trip. East Longmeadow residents are eligible to sign up for the deal of the century. For only $155 per person, you'll receive transportation, game ticket, and a packed lunch. Experience the Patriots take on the New York Jets on October 15th. Call today to reserve your spots. Tickets will run out. More in rec news, applications are now being accepted for scorekeepers and monitors for the 2017-2018 basketball season. Knowledge of basketball is a plus. The position will be most weekends and some weeknights from December through March. If interested, download the application at eastlongmeadowma.gov. Applications must be received by October 10th.
The fire department is also hiring at this time, seeking to fill 4 full-time firefighter/paramedic positions. Successful candidates will begin working in February and will attend the Massachusetts Fire Academy Career Recruit Training Program. For all qualifications, visit eastlongmeadowma.gov. Applications are available on the website and at the town hall.
Switching to another town department, the library is pleased to introduce Memory Cafe. Memory Cafe is an activity program dedicated to senior citizens with Alzheimer's and other memory disorders. This program is surfacing so fast that thousands of libraries and senior centers across the U.S. are offering it. Memory Cafe allows patients and their caregivers to enjoy a safe and comfortable space with games, music, and socializing, a place where others understand what you're going through. If you're interested in participating, stop by the library community room on October 4th at 10:30 a.m.
3 meetings took place this week: School Committee, Planning Board, and the Board of Assessors. The School Committee reviewed curriculum updates, field trips, and other policies.
And you can see the breakdown there. Birchland Park had a total of 39,170, and that covered 100% of their needs list for PE and ELA purchases. The high school had 100% of the science needs, which included the 50,000. There was a little bit of additional covered for science as well. PE was the lowest one at the high school, which was 37%, but you have to realize that their request was almost our entire budget. So we worked with them to just at least meet their highest priorities within that request, which they were happy with. And then you see PE for K-5. Again, it's a small amount, but it was 100% of what they requested at $2,636. And then ELA down there for K-2 and 3 through 5. And if you have questions about what some of that was, I can give you a little bit of update on that.
I move to approve the music department field trip to Colonial Williamsburg, April 12th through the 15th of 2018.
All right, motion's made.
I'll second it.
And seconded. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Carries forward 5-0.
The Planning Board considered several site plan waivers and reopened 2 public hearings related to a pair of significant development projects on Chestnut Street and Shaker Road. The board continued its discussion of a proposed overlay zoning district to encompass the parcel occupied by the old package machinery building.
I also was wondering why you have a minimum density on housing units. I understand a maximum density, okay, which I think we still need to think about. You mentioned that 40 acres at 20 would give you the option of up to 800 units. Mm-hmm. You weren't thinking of going there. If you can give it some thought and tell us what you think your target number of units is, then we should adjust the density to that. The 20 maximum, I think, is kind of sticker shock to all of us, because that 800 units, 2 people per unit, 1,600 new residents, that's almost 10% of the current population of the town. That's sticker shock.
Yeah. I think when we were speaking with Ms. McDonald, she said it was like more than had happened in the past 40 years combined. But
It might be true.
It might be. No, and we understand. And again, we must have seen that somewhere. But no, our thinking is it's somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Between 12 and between 12 and 20. So you want to say 16 and.
Well, we're
in that ballpark.
Who are running the numbers on how many you've got to have to make this work. Yeah. Okay, that's not our concern. But I think we would like to see, I personally would like to see a density number written into it that will get you what you need without giving us this sticker shock of 1,600 new people in town all at once. Okay.
At the second hearing, the board heard from the current developers of the unopened gas station and convenience store on the corner of Chestnut Street and Shaker Road. At issue in that project is a determination by the Planning Board that AMG Retail LLC, who purchased the development project midway through the construction, are required to file a new special permit application.
Well, we've received an awful lot of pushback in ours in the last 2 months. And because of that, it's really created a lot of attention in town, and there's been a lot of opposition to ours that are 24/7.
They've relied on the board in approving this. This would be a serious interference with their business model.
Well, they should have understood that they needed a new special permit.
Yeah, but the amendment that we're asking for is a change in name.
Right.
We're not asking, I would like the board to identify the reason, other than the town opinion, why this operation that's never been up and running is going to have its hours changed. What is the change in circumstances that the board is going to rely on to change their operation?
Basically, the concerns of the abutters in the residential area, which is right across the street from this. That's the main issue. I've also had people have raised issues of increased traffic at night, of people coming up from Connecticut to use this station because it's going to be cheaper than Connecticut because the taxes are different. Which would increase traffic on Shaker Road at night. Again, a concern of those who live on or use Shaker Road. That's what we've heard, and we do have the right to amend the special permit anytime it comes before us. And depending on how the rest of the board feels, I would think that we would exercise that right. So the sense I get from the board is that we are going to amend it with specific hours that are not 24/7. And given that, I would ask that you go back to your client again and either they will propose hours that they think are reasonable and will allow them to operate successfully, or we will make up the hours. Okay, we'd rather have them propose hours. But if they don't, then we will look at the hours that other stations have been permitted, and we will put in hours that are consistent with that.
Lastly, the Board of Assessors provided their monthly budget update.
So the next thing was the educational workshops and conferences, and as we discussed at the last meeting, they have put a limit on educational seminars, and I spoke with the director who basically stated that the board would be covered for any mileage or incidentals having to do with ATB cases, but for education it was that $250, and she is more than welcome to talk to anyone if they would like to speak to her.
We may talk to her in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's a short-sighted policy because I think education for the board is as important as it is for the staff because of the function we perform for the town and the money that we save for the town. Considering that just in this past year we've turned over $120,000 in overlay because we are very conservative in our abatement applications. We also prevailed in an appellate tax board case that saved another $140,000 for the town. That's $260,000. So I find it hard that $2,500 can't be spent on the benefit of the board. We're fortunate to have you, Diane, because you're accredited. I believe I am the first accredited assessor to sit on this board.
You are.
Yeah. And, you know, thinking to the future, if we're not fortunate enough to have you, because we all make different choices or move on, then if the board's not educated, they're not going to know if their director is educated. So,
And also, you're a former president of the Assessors Association.
Yes, I am.
So you have connections, so you should get out to these meetings and see your connections.
Well, not only that, being former president of the association, which is based on establishing professionalism for assessors and sponsoring their education and developing courses that are approved by the State Department of Revenue and working hand in hand with them, I feel this is a penny wise and pound foolish policy. But we'll take that up at some other time.
Well, that will do it for this edition of ELCAT News Update. Be sure to stay connected with us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at ELCAT 01028. Don't forget to watch us on cable channels 191, 192, and 193.
For showtimes, make sure to pick up our ELCAT program guide, available at the Town Hall, Senior Center, Library, and through our website at eastlongmeadowma.gov. Until next time, I'm Allie Carrington.
And I'm John Torsha. Thanks for watching. See you next week.